Good evening. I woke up with something on my mind this morning. What I realized is I'm supposed to teach it. I'm supposed to share it. So I often wake up with lots on my mind, whether it's a song or an idea. I was up at 4 this morning and I was like, ah, I love this. I want to teach it to the world. And in many different ways, maybe I already have taught it to you, but so many people love Simon Sinek's Getting to Why. Getting to why. Go why? Ask why 5 times and you'll get to the heart of why people do things. I created the purpose formula. Take your pain plus your passion, which brings you to the equal sign, and you decide what you will do with that pain and passion. Will you make your life better or bitter because of it? But today I was like, how can I teach people? How can I teach people why does it matter to know the why unless we know the how? So this is what I believe is the heart of the how, which comes from the why, which comes from often pain into purpose. So what I was thinking about is how you live your life matters. So one of my favorite things to teach, there's so many things I get to teach, but one of my favorites is how to live beyond gratitude. Gratitude is good, but I think gratitude is all about what you have. And what I want to teach you is how to move beyond what you have into what you give. And I think you move from gratitude to generosity, you move from a good life to a great life. So I was like, how can I show you this so that you can understand how my brain, which sometimes works silly, works and explains. So this is what I thought about. I thought about you. Okay. So do you treat yourself? Like, do you buy yourself a new outfit? Do you get your nails done? Do you go on vacation? What do you do to treat yourself? Do you treat yourself? And if so, how do you treat yourself? So anything that you do for yourself, something beyond a need to a want, a luxury, a night out, a pampering, um, a new outfit, a cup of coffee. Let's use a cup of coffee. So if you once a week or more often treat yourself to a cup of coffee, you are living in the how I show up is I treat myself. So level one of living your why is what do you do with what matters? I treat myself, right? But then I was like, how do I show you how to expand it? And so I think if you go to level two, not only it's very common for people to say to me, well, Annie, I treat myself, but I always treat my family. And I remember, especially when my kids were young, I would go shopping sometimes for myself, and I would end up leaving the store with nothing for me and an item for each of my 3 kids. So our second way of intentional living is not only what do I get treat myself, but how do I treat my family? Do I make a special dinner? Do I buy them a new outfit? Do I send them a happy Halloween or happy Thanksgiving card? So we're kind of evolving into how we show up. When we know the why of what we do, we understand that. But when we show up, how do I show up? How do people know how I live? So I think you move beyond just treating yourself to treating your family. And your family can be your spouse, it can be your kids, it can be your siblings, your parents. And even, as I've always said since I was young, our family is also who we create, the friends we love that become like family. So do you treat yourself and do you treat your family? But then I thought about, what about the next level? What about moving beyond? Like some people will say to me, I say, joyous people are generous people. Generous people are filled with joy. People that give without conditions, that give just because that's how their heart is. Like I get up and I think, who can I serve? How can I serve? Why do I want to serve? Well, it's because I realize living beyond gratitude into generosity. So I think the third phase is first you treat yourself well, which then fills you up, which allows you to treat your family well. And then we go beyond that to friends. And friends can be neighbors, they can be coworkers, they can be people we just socially interact with. Some of you have lifelong friends, some of you have limited friends, some have a small group of friends. Some people think of everybody as their friend, and like me, make 3 friends a day. But you expand to not only can I treat myself, but can I treat my family? Can I treat my friends? So I think that's the third level. And then we go to the fourth level. And the fourth level is like, where am I giving? First, I give to myself, then I give to my family, then to my friends, and then we give to our church or to a specific nonprofit. I cannot tell you how much of an impact it makes in my life and in my heart to live generously. And I literally, if not every day, at least every week, meet people who say, well, I don't give anything because I can barely pay the bills. And I feel like my math is different. You know, they say girl math, maybe there's Annie math, but I think that if you live with a generous heart, that it multiplies. I mean, and I don't just think it, I know that it multiplies. So first treat yourself, because when you treat yourself well, you're going to be happier, which is going to give you a desire to treat your family better. Then you move beyond your family to your friends. And then what about a church or a nonprofit? Like if I could teach the world one simple trick to have more joy, give every single week. Give anonymously, give publicly, give privately. It doesn't matter. Just give. Buy someone a cup of coffee, give a listening ear, give a kind compliment. Like go out of your way to get up and go, who are 3 people I'll compliment today? But pick a nonprofit, pick a church. I love giving to a church. I was thinking about the other day, and I didn't grow up in this. I'm not quite old enough, but you used to be, the church was whatever was closest to your house was your church. Today, people can pick their church. They can pick to not go to church. They can pick online, or they can pick in person. They can drive hours to go to church. But what is in your community? Is it a church? Is it a nonprofit? There are so many nonprofits. And for a minute there, I was thinking about starting my own nonprofit, which I've never really had a heart to do. Today, I hope to partner with a nonprofit that cares about caregivers, social workers, nurses, therapists, first responders, people that serve our country, and to partner with them to do the P3 pineapple packages where we spread hope, health, and happiness beyond food and flowers. But who are you giving to? Expand your circle. If you want to know how to live out your why with more joy, expand it. Start with yourself, then your family, then your friends, and then your church. And then we're going to go to level 5. So this is 5. And this is where we go to a bigger picture, right? Let me see if I can show you this. So I think people, I'm sorry, my face is kind of bright because I'm turned the lights off. Just have the camera on because it was weird. If you want to live fulfilled, right? Like to your highest good, to your best intention in the world, you first take care of yourself by giving to yourself, by loving on yourself, by being kind to yourself in your words, in your deeds, in your action, in your discipline, in your self-care. You start with yourself. And then you expand to your family, be it your spouse, your parents, your siblings, your children, your grandchildren, grandparents, that you do something kind for them, whether that's patience with them, encouragement with them, generosity of words and spirit, buying them gifts, whatever it is, you expand to family. Then level 3 is friends. And friends can be friends and neighbors. It can be friends and acquaintances, friends and coworkers. What can you do to pour into them and serve them? The next one is your nonprofits and your churches, things in your community and beyond. Where are you giving to? How are you giving? And yes, money is part of it for sure, without a doubt, but there's lots of ways to give, giving time, giving energy, giving encouragement, giving kindness. But what I really think is when you evolve to the how, the full how, what you're doing is you're showing up in the world and you don't have to know the person. You give to the world. You give to strangers every single day. You give randomly, you give anonymously, you give planned and unplanned. Sometimes people say to me, Annie, you should create a nonprofit or a trust to give money out of, and you should give focused. But I don't think, I know a lot of people just give to Red Cross, and that's a great organization, but I think sometimes we're just called to give. Like we get up in the morning and we're just supposed to give. So first to yourself, then to your family, then to your friends, and to your acquaintances, to churches, to nonprofits, because when you give, you have joy. When you don't make it all about you, which you are the smallest part of the generosity, and yet we focus more on gratitude than generosity. And so that's what I wanted to show you tonight. The how is know your why, understand it, and then go deeper and deeper and deeper into the how can I show up with a loving heart and with generosity. So make that list if you need to be strategic and linear in your planning, or just pay attention and track. Today I gave away a smile. I gave away an encouraging word. I bought a cup of coffee. I made a $5 donation. I know we went to church this weekend and they passed the basket for a donation, but they also asked, give generously to the people of Jamaica. And you know, I know you're supposed to give anonymously or not tell people, but I tell you for a lesson is that at the back of the church, they had a vase to collect money for people in Jamaica. And I had taken out some money and given some money to the basket. And then as I was walking out, Greg's like, I already gave. And there was a moment where I thought maybe I don't need to. And then I thought, no, it's not about need. If I had an imprint that I needed to give, and he had an imprint that he needed to give. Why shouldn't we both give? So if you want to get beyond the why of Simon Sinek, who's brilliant and who makes a lot of sense, we have to understand our why, then get to the how. And the how is when you live beyond yourself, beyond gratitude, to generosity that impacts streams. Some people say the butterfly effect, or throwing a pond in a pond, throwing a rock in a pond, and the ripple effect. The ripple effect of our generosity that shows people, whether we have much or very little, to give generously, and that it's always multiplied. And we don't give to get back, but we give that our gift to someone will then affect another life and another life, and sometimes actually change the trajectory of somebody's life. So tonight, thanks for listening. Thanks for getting to the how. Please say hello. Let me know where you're listening from. Let me know how you are showing up in your why to live joyously and generously. Thanks for listening. Have a great week.